Hey, Peter, have you ever just stopped and really thought about those lives that, well, just seem to fade away? No fanfare, no memories widely shared, just a quiet, almost invisible exit?
You know, Darren, it's a heavy thought, but yeah, it crosses my mind more often than I'd like to admit. Especially when you read a news blurb about someone found weeks after they passed, and the article has almost no details about their life, just the bare facts. It's haunting, isn't it?
Haunting is exactly the word. I was actually thinking about a specific scenario today. Imagine a person, let's call her Eleanor, who lived a full 90 years. But for the last 20 or 30, she'd been isolated. No immediate family, old friends gone. What does the last day of a life like that even look like?
That's a profound question. I mean, on one hand, it could be peaceful. A quiet day, maybe a favorite cup of tea, looking out the window, remembering moments, a gentle slipping away. But then there's the other side, isn't there? The potential for profound loneliness. Did she wish for someone to be there? Did she know she was forgotten?
Exactly. It could be a day filled with quiet dignity, reminiscing on cherished but private memories. Or it could be a day colored by the crushing weight of knowing that when she's gone, there won't be that immediate ripple, that wave of grief from a wide circle. The mail will still come, the lights might stay on for a while, and the world will just keep turning.
It's a chilling thought, that lack of immediate ripple. We often talk about leaving a legacy, making an impact. But for some, the impact is so localized, so small, that it dissipates almost immediately upon their passing. And I wonder, is that inherently less of a life, or just a different kind?
I don't think it's less at all. Every life is a universe unto itself, right? Full of experiences, joys, sorrows, fears, triumph. Eleanor might have been a brilliant artist in her youth, or a fantastic teacher who touched hundreds of lives decades ago, but those connections just atrophied over time. Life happens.
That's a good point. The forgotten aspect isn't necessarily about the quality of the life lived, but perhaps more about the contemporary memory of it. I mean, imagine Eleanor's last day. Maybe she wakes up, the sun streams through the window just like any other day. She follows her routine, makes coffee, perhaps reads the paper or looks at old photos. Is there a moment of realization that this could be it?
Or is it just another Tuesday? That's what's so poignant. The banality of it. For us, the observers, it's this profound, almost philosophical moment. But for Eleanor, it might just be the quiet conclusion of a very long story. Maybe she's at peace, ready for it. Or maybe there's a flicker of regret, a wish for one more conversation.
I think the wish for one more conversation resonates most with me. We're social creatures, fundamentally. Even the most introverted among us crave some form of connection. To face that final moment knowing no one is waiting on your call, no one is expecting you for dinner, no one will even notice your absence for days, that's a different kind of pain.
It speaks to a broader societal issue too, doesn't it? The way our communities are structured now. We're so spread out, families are fragmented, people move away for work. The village elder who was known by everyone is a rarer sight. We lose those organic safety nets, those informal check-ins.
Absolutely. It's the flip side of independence, isn't it? We value our autonomy, our privacy, our personal space, but it comes at a cost, especially as we age. We pull back, we build higher walls, and sometimes those walls become incredibly difficult to breach when help or connection is most needed.
And the digital age, ironically, can exacerbate it. We're connected to thousands of people online, but those aren't always the deep, meaningful connections that sustain you when you're truly vulnerable. You can be scrolling through Instagram, seeing everyone's best life, while living a very quiet, solitary existence yourself.
That's so true. It's like we've traded depth for breadth, 1,000 shallow connections versus 5 truly profound ones. And when it comes to the end of a life, it's those profound ones that truly matter. Who will hold your hand? Who will remember that silly joke you told? Who will mourn your specific absence?
So, let's go back to Eleanor on her last day. What if she's not lonely? What if she's just tired? She's lived a long life, seen so much, Maybe her last day is one of quiet reflection, gratitude for what was, and a serene acceptance of what is to come. Perhaps the forgetting of her life by others isn't even on her radar.
That's a beautiful thought, and I hope for that outcome for anyone in that situation, that the peace outweighs any sense of regret or isolation. Maybe she spent her last few moments looking at a photo of a long-lost love, or a pet, or a vivid memory of a vacation, reclaiming her own narrative in her own mind.
Yes, absolutely. What if her greatest joys were completely internal? A deep appreciation for nature or classical music or a particular book that she rereads every year. And her last day involves those small, private pleasures that fulfill her, regardless of who is observing.
That's a powerful reframing. It challenges our own definition of a successful or remembered life. We often equate impact with external recognition, awards, public acclaim, a huge funeral, but maybe true fulfillment, even at the end, is an intensely personal journey.
It makes me think about what we value. Do we value connection because we genuinely crave it, or because we're afraid of being forgotten ourselves? It's a bit of a mirror, isn't it? When we ponder a forgotten life, we're often really pondering our own mortality and our own desire to be remembered.
Absolutely. It brings up that primal fear, and it makes you question how you're living your life now. Am I reaching out enough? Am I truly present in my relationships? Am I creating memories that will last, not just for me, but for others?
So, how do we bridge that gap? How do we prevent more Eleanors from having their final day or their final years be marked by this profound lack of external connection? It's not about forcing people to socialize, but about creating systems of care and community.
It's about those small gestures, I think. A quick knock on a neighbor's door, offering to help with groceries, checking in on the elderly person down the street. It sounds simplistic, but those little acts of presence can make an enormous difference in someone's daily life and potentially their final years.
And acknowledging the humanity in everyone, even the person who seems a bit gruff or standoffish. You never know their story or the circumstances that led them to isolation. A simple smile, a good morning, can sometimes be the only human interaction they have all day.
It really is. And I think, too, we need to normalize talking about loneliness. It's still such a taboo. People feel ashamed to admit they're lonely, especially as they get older. If we can open up that conversation, maybe people will feel more comfortable reaching out, and others will feel more comfortable responding.
Imagine Eleanor's last day if she had just one person who knew her well, someone who would call just to say hello. Even that single thread of connection can transform the experience from forgotten to quietly supported.
It adds a layer of dignity, doesn't it? The knowledge that you are seen, that your existence matters to at least one other soul, that you leave a small void in someone's day when you're gone.
So maybe the lesson isn't just about fearing being forgotten, but about actively participating in remembering others, actively building those bridges, maintaining those connections, even when it feels inconvenient or when life gets busy.
Because ultimately our lives are interwoven. We don't exist in a vacuum, and the strength of that tapestry, that human fabric, is dependent on every single thread, even the quietest ones.
It certainly gives you pause, doesn't it, to consider not just how you want to be remembered, but how you want to contribute to the remembrance of others.
It does, and I hope for all the Eleanors out there that their last day, however quiet, is filled with a sense of peace and a quiet knowing that their life, in its own way, truly mattered, and that perhaps, somewhere, someone will eventually unearth a piece of their story and carry it forward.
Well said, Peter. A really thought-provoking conversation today. Thanks for joining me.
Always a pleasure, Daren. And maybe, just maybe, it's a good reminder for all of us to make that extra call, send that extra message, or just say hello to a neighbor. You never know whose day, or even whose life, you might brighten.